thank you very much, David. It's a pleasure to be here and have a chance to visit with you for a few minutes. I especially appreciate my lovely wife, Lorraine, being here and during another speech from me. It's always a pleasure when she's here. Since you didn't really say all the great things about me, I think I should say a few great things. I'm trying to think what has happened to me since the last time I talked here to a fairly large group. One thing is I've lost a fair amount of weight. Lorraine's fairly put me into shape. One of my good friends has told me I've lost 2 small farm animals. So that's one thing that's happened. And it was one of those situations where about a year ago, the family was all at the swimming pool one time, and everybody was talking. My oldest daughter came up to me and said, Ray, or she said, Dad. She didn't say Ray. She's very quiet. She said, Dad, you know when John Donne said no man is an island, man, he'd never seen you in a swimming pool. So I finally went to the doctor and with Lorraine's help, the doctor said lost my weight. The other thing I can think of that's happened recently, though, is, and I'm really proud of this, I am an honorary Kilgore Rangerette. I have a uniform and everything. They gave me the uniform, it was all in a nice frame, and this lady comes up and she starts telling me how to tie everything. And I said, I really don't think I'll be wearing this. But I'm a little disappointed that I haven't been invited to the Macy's Parade or any of that yet, so I guess I need to work on my kick a little bit more. But anyway, it's great to be here and great to share a few minutes with you and talk about a few things. I thought since I was in this part of the country, I should probably talk about the microelectronics industry. Don't you want to hear about? We'll look at it a little bit differently. Obviously, as Scott mentioned, as everyone knows, the area's been on quite a growth run lately, and one of the fastest growing places in the country. And obviously, that is brought about by and large, the new technology that's allowed us to unlock the oils and the rocks under the ground here, and in a way that we've never been able to do before. And it's really spectacular what has happened. In 2010, the state of Texas was producing about 1 million barrels of oil a day. This past month, the Permian Basin produced 1.7 million barrels. It's truly amazing. The country produces about 9 million, if that gives you the perspective. 1.7 million barrels a day, out of 9 million come from here. So it's truly amazing the impact that the oil revenue has on the entire country. And obviously, as a result of it, there's been a lot going on here. And then the price started falling a little bit. And people started getting nervous. And so I thought I'd try to give you a little bit of perspective on that right now and kind of where it is, what might happen in the future, and that sort of thing. The price is falling for several reasons. One of them is what I just said. We're producing a lot more oil than we used to. And we happen to be producing a lot more oil at the same time that the world economy has slowed down a little bit. Now, don't get too alarmed. The world economy hasn't slowed down too much. I mean, China is all concerned because their gross domestic product growth is down to 7.3%. Okay? That's not a bad number to start with. Europe lowered their forecast a little bit this month, but basically the world economy is slowing down a little bit, and when it grows less, it needs less new energy. And that it's a temporary thing, but it's something that we are having to work through right now. That's one thing that's happening. Another thing is you may have noticed that finally, for people who live in places other than here, the U.S. economy has started growing a little bit. And with that, and growing compared to a lot of our competitors out there in the world, and with that, the dollar is starting a little bit stronger. The Federal Reserve has also kind of said, we're not going to pump things up quite as much as we have before. Dollar's getting a little bit stronger. The world buys oil in dollars. Oil is, any market, anywhere you want to go for oil, is priced in dollars. So when each dollar buys more, they can get the same amount of purchasing power for fewer dollars. And so that's just a phenomenal exchange rate that always happens anytime that something like this is going on. And then you have a lot of tension in the world, a lot of fun and games going on, nothing to the degree we had back in the 80s. What happened in the 70s and 80s was almost all geopolitics. We had the oil boom, the energy crisis if you go somewhere else. So we had that because the OPEC countries were upset with us and decided to cut back on our supplies and kept the cartel together for a while. And then we had the bust because they were all cheating on the cartel and nobody was there to stop them from overproducing. After Saudi Arabia got tired of doing it at first, and then later President Reagan decided if he could take the oil industry, he could take the old Soviet Union. And so it was, and that worked. And so the bottom line is all of that was geopolitics. There's some of that going on now, but there's much more fundamental things going on in the market now. There's real changes in technology we didn't have before. There's real increases in global demand we didn't have before. There's a whole different financing picture of the industry. So there's a lot of things that are different. But we are seeing some geopolitics right now. The major player in those geopolitics at the moment is Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has a couple of agendas. Number one, they really don't like Russia. And Russia, like everything else they do, is so inefficient in producing oil, they start losing money when it gets below $100 a barrel. And so consequently, if Saudi Arabia can keep the price there a little while, they create problems for Russia. And in particular, one problem we want to create for Russia is Russia would love to cut off Ukraine's gas this winter. Well, if they're not making that much oil, they can't afford to do that. And Saudi Arabia would like them not to cut off Ukraine's gas this winter. And so that's one thing that's going on. And then Monday, Saudi Arabia did something really, really strange. They raised the price of oil to their European and Asian customers and lowered it for their customers in the United States. Now that's a phenomenon, the technical name for which is messing with us. They're messing with us right now. And the reason they're messing with us makes a lot of sense from their perspective. The biggest threat they face is our shale production. They're losing market share in the United States or losing market share in other places because of our shale production, a lot of which is taking place right here. And they know that the cost of that's a little more expensive than the cost of some other types of production. And consequently, they just as soon make it tough on us. It makes some of those marginal plays not work out for a while and can kind of reestablish their position. And they see an opportunity to do that by letting the price stay down for a little while. Now, they can't let it stay down so too long. They have gotten so comfortable and provided so much largesse with the riches they've had for oil, they start running budget deficits at $85 a barrel in their budget. Now, unlike us, they can do that for a while because unlike the United States, which has a $17 trillion debt, they have a $700 billion war chest. Okay, so they can afford to ride this out for a while and lose money for a while, but not forever, not indefinitely, and they're very mindful of that. So that's part of what's going on here in kind of the global dynamic of everything. And the question becomes, what does it mean and what's it likely to look like in the future? One thing it means is, indeed, you won't see a lot of the new areas that were just getting ready to produce. They're going to hold back for a while. You're not going to jump into those new areas right away. That will have some impact. Also, the break-even point for shale wells varies from place to place. It's around here, and by that I'm talking about the posted price. You have to pay pipeline fees and all kinds of, there's other stuff in there, in there, but everybody that needs to know that knows that. But the posted price, where most of the wells out here start to get people get nervous about, is between 70 and 75. It's a little higher in the Eagle Ford down in South Texas, just because their cost to get gas is a bit higher than ours is. Part of that's because we can provide so much of the infrastructure locally that they're still having to import, and so that lowers our costs a bit. Part of it's just the nature of the rocks. But anyway, their cost is a little bit higher than ours, so they're already a little bit more nervous than we are. And so as a result of that, you will see probably not a whole lot of exploration taking place right now. People aren't too anxious; they just soon explore when the price is higher. A lot of the new fields will not be opened up, but it's still very profitable to sell the oil we've already found. And to keep those wells flowing, by the very nature of hydraulic fracturing, takes a lot of economic activity to do that. And that's one thing we didn't have before. The Abrams well that started the whole Permian thing back in the early 20s still produces oil today. It's been around almost a century. And that's because it's flowing downhill just a little bit through sand with a pump. You get that going, and that doesn't necessarily stop you. You've got nothing out there. These new wells aren't that way. You're forcing oil out of very dense rock. And so when you break it up, you get a lot of oil. But then, if you get any more oil, it has to make its way through that very dense rock, and that's hard to do. And so you have to continually refract these wells and work the wells and that sort of thing to keep production up. And that type of activity is likely to continue as we go through this spell of prices. Long term, I think the price of oil has a tendency to go up more than down. even now, not as much as it did a few years ago before we discovered fracking. But long term, we're still going to see global demand grow faster than global supply. And a lot of the reason that has to do with the emerging countries of the world. If you look at the world economy last year, as a simple example, we grew about 2%. We didn't set the world on fire. Europe was flat. Japan was flat. We're 25% of the world economy. Europe's 20%. Japan's high. So that's 50%. If you average them all out, they grew about 1%. Okay. The global economy grew 4% last year. What does that say about the other half? It had to grow a lot. The other half is all the emerging countries that are just beginning to manufacture, that are just beginning to go through industrial revolutions like we went through a century ago and like Great Britain went through 2 centuries ago. They're just now beginning to emerge as producing economies beyond agrarian production of minerals. And as a result of that, they're growing in energy-intensive ways. When we grow, a lot of our growth is usually in service sectors. They don't use a lot of energy. When we buy new equipment, typically it's more energy efficient than the old equipment we replace, because that's the mindset we've been in for quite some time. And new technology tends to be energy saving. When we build a new building, it tends to be more efficient than the old building we're moving out of. And it's because our country's evolved in that direction as we become more advanced. And so we can grow a lot and not use that much more energy. As these emerging countries grow, they need more and more and more energy. And so on balance, you find a lot more supply out there, a lot more demand out there, but over time, the demand is going to be more faster than supply, and that's going to create upward pressure on prices. Another thing that happens in the marketplace is, I've talked about the cost, it's okay, somewhere around 75 or so, it's okay. That's what's called, in technical economics terms, short-term marginal cost. That covers your cost of producing right now. There's also something called long-term marginal cost, which means you got to cover when you have to buy new equipment and all those kinds of things. You have to cover all those costs that become variable the longer out of time you look. That price today is probably $100 a barrel, something like that. With some improvements in technology, we'll probably see it may be $95 before we worse, something like that. We need the oil. We're going to get the oil. Hopefully, for that to happen, we're going to have that price. It's just a basic phenomenon. We're going to have a price at that level in order for it to make sense to extract the oil, and we're going to need to extract the oil as the global economy grows. Now, there are a lot of factors out there that can change these dynamics a lot. One of them is, and I know some of you have been involved in this process, the discussion about perhaps letting the U.S. begin to export more oil. I say more, most people don't think we export any. We export just a little bit now. We get special approval from the Commerce Department to export it. And we sent a little bit to Canada over the years, not much, a little bit. And then recently they come up with a new wrinkle. As you probably know, we can export refined petroleum products, but we can't export crude oil. And that was done back in the energy crisis for national security reasons. Never made a whole lot of sense to me. If you could export the products you made something with, but you couldn't export the crude product, and that's what we did. Well, what they've done in a couple of cases lately, they've defined a little bit of processing you can do out in the field. Spending about $1 million to put something out in the field to take out a few chemicals and that sort of thing. They define that in a few cases as being refining the petroleum. So you can still sell it from the fields and export it. As a result of that, exports are about 4 times higher this year than they've been in a long, long time. Now, that's 4 times a really, really, really little number. So it's not anything that makes any great difference in the world oil market. But if we're able to expand the capability to export, obviously that's going to have an impact, because we are producing enough oil now that while we're not energy independent in the sense that some people talk about, and I don't think we'll ever be, energy independent means we produce enough oil in the United States for everything the United States does. Well, we consume about 25-30% of the world's energy. So it's unlikely we're going to produce 25-30% of the world's energy. So we're not going to get there. What I think people really mean when they say that is energy security. And by that I mean we can get our energy from friendly countries that don't have a political axe to grind, that are located fairly close by, and that sort of thing. And in that context, I think we are at a point, we're at pretty much at that point now. We can get oil from friendly countries at this point in time if we need to. And so I think it does make sense to start looking at that a little bit differently. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a battle that's fought for quite some time. And obviously you're going to have 2 different sides of the coin. Anybody in the refining industry is not going to win it, because they'd rather keep supplies higher here, and it's prices lower and also get to export their stuff as opposed to being exported the pork refined. And you'll find the folks in the oil field would prefer to sell the crude, eat like wants to buy the crude. So there's going to be a nice big fuss about this. And we don't know where it will come out politically. But nonetheless, that's one of the major things to watch on the horizon. We are seeing some significant progress right now on selling natural gas abroad. And I think part of that's because we have such a glut of natural gas right now. The government looks a little bit differently at it. But there's some plants right now under construction and one in operation now that liquefies natural gas. It's basically down on either the Gulf Coast, Atlantic Coast, they take the gas, they compress it into a liquid, they ship it, they regasify it and sell it. And why that makes sense is gas is selling for roughly $4 a thousand cubic feet over here and roughly $19 a thousand cubic feet in some places that don't have any. And it costs money to compress it and regasify it, but not nearly that much. And so it's very profitable